Hello and welcome to THE 5840, the Theology of John Wesley and His Theological Forebears. My name is the Reverend Dr. Joseph Wood, and I'm excited to be your teacher for the next 6 weeks. I've done this class a number of times now, and every time it just keeps getting better and better. So I'm really happy to have you in class with me for the next 6 weeks, and I hope you're as excited as I am to learn about the thinking and theology of Wesley, his influences, and how that speaks to our church today. A little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of Trevecca Nazarene University. I graduated in 2005 with an undergraduate degree in history, and then I did a master's degree at Trevecca and graduated in 2006. Just after I graduated from Trevecca, I moved to the United Kingdom. I moved to Nazarene Theological College, where I continued my studies, and that's actually where I am today. I'm now on faculty at NTC Manchester. I teach in the area of church history and a bit of theology, and I really enjoy having good discussions, good conversations about history, about how our thinking has developed, and have a special interest in the area of John Wesley. That was my focus of research for PhD. So I'm excited to have you for the next 6 weeks, and we'll share together about John Wesley and his influences. I'm married to Reverend Kat Wood. She's an ordained elder in the Church of the Nazarene. She's a local pastor here in Manchester. We have 2 young daughters, Evelyn and Miriam, and I teach full-time here at NTC. You've been able to log in, I can see, and you've been able, hopefully, to have a look through the syllabus. And I urge you to read that very carefully. And if you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask. Let's have a look at our textbooks for the next few weeks. The first one you'll see is Charles Irigoyen, John Wesley, Holiness of Heart and Life. This is a basic introduction to the history of Wesley, a bit of biography, but also to the history of the development of Methodism. And you'll be reading this in your first week, so you want to pick this one up as soon as you can. In addition to this, you'll also have a number of readings online, which will give you a historical background that you'll need for the next few weeks in our learning together. So that's Charles Irigoyen, John Wesley. It's a biography and a history. For the last 3 weeks, we'll be reading through Theodore Runyon's The New Creation. It's John Wesley's theology today, and what Theodore Runyon does is he helps put together Wesley's thinking from a variety of sources to give us a nice, systematic, structured way of exploring Wesley's thinking. And so we'll be reading this together over the last 3 weeks of the class. The main reading from the class will actually come from sources that I've provided for you that are online. The focus of the class is primary sources. So primary sources are written by the source themselves, or written by people who were living at the time that the sources were written. So Theodore Runyon is a secondary source. He's someone who didn't live at the time of Wesley, but he writes about Wesley's theology. A primary source, in our case, will be John Wesley. It will be William Law, Jeremy Taylor, Daniel Brevant, and you might even find a few others scattered here and there. If you're somebody who likes to read hard copy books rather than reading online, I can suggest some of the readings that we'll be doing comes from a new series by Seedbed Publishing called the John Wesley Collection. This one is called From Almost to Altogether, Sermons on Christian Discipleship. It's simply a collection of Wesley's sermons, all put together in one nice, simple paperback volume. The first sermon that we're actually reading of Wesley is the first sermon in this book, called The Circumcision of the Heart. There are other collections of Wesley's sermons that you can pick up. One I would recommend is Albert Outler's Wesley's Sermons and Anthology that has a good overview of the sermons. But all of the primary sources that you'll be reading are available online, and you have links to those each week. And also on the syllabus as well. The structure of the class. This class is 6 weeks long, and for the first week we're going to be focusing on the history of Methodism. We're going to look together at gaining an understanding of the background of Wesley's life of the 18th century in the UK, at the development of Methodism and its relationship with the Church of England. So our first week is going to be focused on history. Our next 2 weeks, so weeks 2 and weeks 3, you'll be focusing on those particular people who influenced Wesley. We've chosen 3. There are many, many more, but we're going to be looking at 3. William Law, Jeremy Taylor, and Daniel Brevins. And you'll be reading for those 2 weeks these primary sources of people who lived in the century prior to Wesley, who had a specific impact on his thinking. And then for the final 3 weeks, we're going to be focused just on the writings of Wesley, alongside the Theodore Runyon book. We're going to be reading his sermons and reflecting on his thinking and seeing how his influence might be seen through his writings. So we're trying to put the first 3 weeks and the last 3 weeks together by seeing how Wesley was influenced by these particular writers. I'm excited to have you here in class with us. We'll be doing some discussion boards. I might be doing some reflection videos after those, but you will see a welcome video every week like this one to give you a clue as to what we're going to be doing for the week. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, either direct, jawood@trevecca.edu, or through the Blackboard portal. I can pick those up as well. And please do feel free to send me any comments about whether you're going to make a deadline, if you're going to miss a deadline. I'm happy to discuss that with you. But please, please, please do try and keep up the pace and do your best, and we'll be learning together. And I'm really excited to have you in class. So let's get to it.